Hello and welcome to Technology Simplicity YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to install WordPress on your cPanel through one of the add-ons called WordPress Toolkit. This is basically using a few buttons and clicks and you can have your WordPress website live in a few minutes. Comparing to the traditional way, is much more time saving as well as easier to manage in the long run, especially you want to do a maintenance, including update your WordPress plugins and themes. It can be done using the WordPress Toolkit as well. So let me share with you a simple steps on how to install a WordPress website from scratch at cPanel. Let's go. Before we start this, I would presume that you already purchased one of the web hosting in the market and they already sent you the cPanel account access. So right now, let me share with you a few things before we get into the technical stuff. Number one, some of you might be asking, what is cPanel? In short, cPanel is a web hosting control panel software whereby you can publish a website, you can create emails and calendars, you can backup, transfer, or manage your files. You can manage your domains and as well as launch your database. And of course, your cPanel can be added more features by installing more plugins and add-ons. It will be different prices and different packages by default, and basically these are the 5 main features of a cPanel is. So some are asking, whether do we need to have a web and email hosting separately, since cPanel already have. One of the features is to create email and calendar as well. Is web and email hosting is the same under cPanel environment? And of course, these are the questions that people always ask, like, I thought cPanel already can create emails, and why should I have a separate email hosting and web hosting? And what are the pros and cons? In short, I'm going to share with you just one simple answer. Web hosting is not equal to email hosting, and cPanel have the ability to combine these two features under the same hosting. However, the disadvantage of combining these two is if one of the web or email is down, it will lead to another as well. For example, your web traffic getting too much. For example, your website getting too much traffic in all of a sudden, and your server is overloaded and it's hang. Is needed to be restarted in a short time. That particular time will affecting if your email hosting is under the same server, especially under the same cPanel account. So that is one of the disadvantage. For me, I always practice separate my web hosting and email hosting, so that either each is down, I'm still can taking care. Just particularly. So I'm going to share with you in technically, in a short while is, at first, before you install WordPress into a cPanel, update the domain name DNS, then add the domain name to the cPanel. Number 3, make sure you generate SSL certificate. Then number 4, using WordPress Toolkit and install a WordPress website. Let's go and start with update your domain name DNS. To update your domain name DNS, properly you may need to go to your domain name provider. However, if you manage to update your name server of your domain name to Cloudflare, you can easily manage your DNS using Cloudflare. So I'm going to share with you accessing a Cloudflare interface. Once you access your Cloudflare account and you already pointed your domain name into this part, so the next thing is you need to add the domain, add a DNS point to the new server. And I'm going to show you using one of my personal website for the demonstration purpose. Up to this, you need to go to DNS, and up to this part, assuming you already purchased your web hosting and that send you the cPanel access. So what you need to do is make sure you add your DNS and point to that particular domain name. So right now I have a subdomain name, and I'm going to point to my server through IP address. Save. So when it's done, it should be available on the very first one here. So your domain name have been pointed to the new server. Number 2, you need to go to the cPanel and add the domain name. So let's go. Accessing your cPanel is as simple as log in your website. So the first thing is you just log in. Okay, you shall see it's not secure because your SSL certificate is not generated yet. Don't worry, we access the cPanel first. It really depends on your domain name provider. It really depends on your web hosting provider, whether they already generate the SSL certificate for you or you have to do it by yourself. And I will presume your web hosting provider didn't generate it yet. So once you access to the cPanel, let us access first by keying the username and password. Okay, this is normal. Once you reach this interface, it might be variants. Depends on your web hosting provider, whether they add in any additional features for you. Okay, this is one of the basic and the easiest you have. Okay, I'm going to dismiss the notification. So the very first thing is I need to add the domain name into this site and make sure it will generate the SSL. So I'm going to double check on this part. I'm going to look for this guy called domains, these sections. I'm going to click this guy called domains. By default, the domain name that you wanted to insert into your cPanel supposedly is there. Okay, so once it's there, the second thing you need to do is, let's go back, is to generate SSL certificate. I'm going to share with you two methods to generate an SSL certificate in a very easy way. Okay, however, it could be different in your cPanel environment, or even it might be very different based on your web hosting provider. Okay, the very first move is go to your cPanel and just type SSL. Under this part, I will click this guy called SSL or TLS status. From here, the next move I can do is I'm going to run AutoSSL. Okay, please double check with your web hosting provider whether they have included this or not. If yes, you can easily see your domain name have SSL certificate in a short moment. And how long it's going to take, it really goes still based on your web hosting provider. Each web hosting provider is so much different. I can't tell you right now in terms of any figure and so on. From what you see, this is one of the low cost web hosting right now. That's why it takes quite some time. While waiting for the SSL to auto-generate, let me share with you the second method to generate SSL certificate. And the best thing is 100% free. Remember just now I mentioned that you can go to your Cloudflare here. Under this part, all you need to do is just take the proxy status. Take your proxy status to proxy. And the second thing you need to do is go to this guy called SSL or TLS. And the best thing about this place here is, if you see there's a 4 options here, you can choose full straight, whereby it will provide you the Cloudflare Origin CA certificate, and it's 100% free, especially for personal use. Unless you already have other certificate generated out there, then you no need to choose the full straight options. So that is the two simplest way to generate a domain name. Let's just come back to the cPanel I mentioned just now. Right now you can see all these guys is green color already, which means the SSL certificate already generated. So right now I'm going to refresh this site. We can try to log in the HTTPS way. Let's try it. Okay, let's just try the new tab. Sometimes because of the cache issue, right? I will close the old one. I enter here. And I'm going to key the username and the password one more time. The domain name is already certified. Okay. However, if you face this issue again, okay, remember, most probably is because of your cache. You need to close the browser or clear the cache, then you re-enter again. Okay, don't worry about this part so much yet. Okay, especially I confirm my SSL certificate already generated. You can check here. Okay, even the cPanel also. Okay, let us try one more time. I'm going to open a new incognito window. I'm going to close this guy. I'm going to open another one. Okay, let me enter again. So now, as you can see, it's no longer showing you the error message like just now in terms of HTTP, but this is under a secure site already. If you go and click the lock button, you shall see connection is secure and the certificate is valid as well. Means you are safe right now. Okay, so step 4, you're going to install WordPress using one of the plugin under cPanel called WordPress Toolkit. So I'm going to show you right now. Let's go to the demo. Under cPanel, properly you can straight away type WordPress. Okay, if your cPanel have 2 or multiple WordPress installation method, I will urge you and encourage you to go for WordPress Toolkit, especially not going for WordPress Manager, because this is retired service and is no longer in support and updates. So don't use it. Okay, go for WordPress Toolkit because it's newly launched by cPanel. Okay, click it. And the next thing, you shall see a simple interface to telling you whether you want to install WordPress or not. Okay, all I'm going to share with you is 0 codes. Okay, you don't need to do any coding and you don't need to have any programming skills. So next thing is you just click this guy called install WordPress. And you will come to another interface whereby you can choose where is your path. In terms of installation path, mostly because let's say if you have multiple domain name hosted under one cPanel, you shall see more choices. For now, I can't do any selection because only one domain name pointed to this cPanel account. I'm going to name the website title. Okay, don't fill up anything under here unless you really want to have a sub-directory type of subsites. Okay, I'm going to cover another session, not today. Okay, right now I'm going to show you this is demo purpose. And from here, if your domain name if your web hosting provider do have some sets, for example, you shall see this guy. Okay, this is set by myself or other stuff. You can choose it, and of course, you can choose none. It's really up to you. This set is actually means if you want to install multiple plugins and themes, whenever you want to have a new WordPress website, this is a good start. Especially for a developer who need to install lots of WordPress website. For your case, I will choose none. Okay. For website language, usually we'll go for US. However, if you are coming from other languages, you are more than welcome to choose other language as well. For version, I will always encourage go for the latest version. Okay. Do not go to a previous version unless you know what you are doing or you are just trying to do a testing. The reason because whenever there's a latest version updated, they always share the security loophole in the previous version and what are the fixes. So which means if you are using an old version properly, your website can be easily get hacked because the hacker already know what is the loophole in the previous version. So I will encourage you go to the latest version. And the next thing is make sure you key in username that don't worry about is readable or not. Just key in some funny words is fine. Okay, this username is not going to use in anything but just to log in and for yourself. So don't let the hacker can guess your admin. The scariest thing that always happen is people will type username as admin and the password also called admin. Okay, the good thing about this WordPress toolkit is they won't allow you to give you to key in a weak password. So for username, I will type something else. For example, admin / demo. Then I'm going to put some funny thing. Okay, I just copy down in somewhere first. And for password, I'm going to generate a new password. And I'm going to copy down too. And make sure you save your username and password in a very safe place. One of the method I use is I'm saved in Microsoft OneNote and I purposely lock the OneNote page again. So it's like a double layer for you. And from email, of course, any email that you can do. And the next thing is for database, you won't need to worry so much because it's already set it out here. And this is the beauty about WordPress Toolkit is you can always update WordPress automatically. And you can even set whether you want to update the plugins automatically and themes as well. However, I want to urge everyone here not to set to force all plugins and themes update automatically because sometimes your plugin or your theme might conflict with the old plugin or the latest version of this plugin A and plugin B might not compatible. And once it's go into the conflict state, your website might be down. So be very careful on that part. I'm going to share with you how to update plugins and themes automatically in another session. For now, I will say define individually. Okay, and I'm going to install first. This installation period again is really depends on your I'm sorry, the username you can't use some symbol and so on. So I'm going to remove the dash. Oh yeah, I can't use this symbol. Okay, fine. Okay, remember the copy down, right? Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, I can't use this symbol. I can use this symbol. Okay, copy one more time. Okay, when it comes to any error, please read the on-screen instruction carefully. And this installation will take some time. Okay, it really depends on how fast and how powerful is your server is. If your server is very powerful, it can be done within 1 or 2 minutes. And surprisingly, That's all. Comparing to the traditional way to install WordPress, it probably might take you 5 to 15 minutes, especially you need to install database by yourself. You need to download the whole website, WordPress. Sorry, not website. You download the whole WordPress and install it. And the installation step might take longer time. For now, you can see the WordPress website is done. So when I choose no thanks for setting up the WordPress plugins, the website is done. Let's take a quick look. Voila. Your default is here. Remember just now we set demo purpose. Okay. If you want to log in, simply just type /wp-admin. This is the very default WordPress website backend access. When we say backend access, means when you access to the backend, it's like a store, the backside of your store, whereby you can manage your stuff. Then the one that visitors and everybody else see is front end, just like your storefront. Okay, when you access this wp-admin, remember the username and password we set just now. Now you just setting up. And log in, and that's it. You have your WordPress website ready in less than 5 minutes, especially using a cPanel and WordPress Toolkit under it. And of course, there are many other ways out there to set up your own WordPress website. Okay, we're going to cover it in other WordPress tutorials. But one thing I want to share with you is, if you don't want to get some hackers or someone to try to brute force and try to access your website so frequently and wasted your server resources, one of the best way is just change this access from wp-admin to something else. If you want to learn about that, you can find in my YouTube channel, Technology Simplicity, and try to find WordPress security. These two keywords. Then you can find another short video, just less than 5 minutes. I did share how to change this to something else and increase your security of your WordPress website. So I already shared with you just now how to install a WordPress website through cPanel by using one of the great tools called WordPress Toolkit. It's not just time saving, it's also management efficiency, especially if you can recall, you can call out a set of plugins and themes, and you can even set automatically update in terms of plugin and themes. However, there are more efficient and much more better way to manage your WordPress website, and we're going to cover in other session as well. So today, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video and learn something, please like the video. Subscribe to our channel, my channel, as well as click a ring so that you will be notified whenever there's a new video being uploaded here. Once again, thank you for watching and joining us. This is Technology Simplicity YouTube channel, and my name is Jay Chong. And again, stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again. Goodbye.